All right, let's dive into the world of jazz guitar with the classic tune Billie's Bounce. Mastering bird blues changes on guitar is easier than you think. Let me show you how to nail Billie's Bounce in no time. Now let's talk about bird blues changes. These changes are crucial in jazz music, adding color and depth to the harmony. These changes are based on basic blues but are more advanced. Charlie Parker used these chord changes or slight variations on lots of tunes. In this lesson, I'll show you the basic chord changes, and then we'll do some more advanced variations and additions. We'll throw in some walking bass lines and some passing tones. With each level, it gets a little trickier, probably cooler as we move along. Navigating smoothly through chord changes on the guitar can be a challenge. Each chord requires proper finger placement and timing. We can utilize my flow to the floor concept when forming these chords. This will help you with transitioning. Let's go ahead and break down the bird blues into individual chords. When you're practicing this, go back and forth between two chords first for like 2 measures, and then you can add another chord in, and maybe another chord, do 4 measures. Do it in sections, little sections at a time as you build up to doing the whole 12-bar form. Keep that in mind. You can do a little bit at a time. The first chord is F7. Looks like a C chord. This would be C down here. So it's A8, D7, G8, and B6. Strumming just the middle 4 strings. We don't want to play the outside strings. The next chord is this B flat 7 chord. And this is a drop 3 voicing. I'm playing low E6, D6, and B6, and my little finger's on G7. Looks like this. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to F7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. B flat 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and take a look at those diagrams on the screen and take your time learning these. The next one is a half diminished or diminished 7 chord. So it kind of looks like minor 7 like this, but I'm flatting this note. So it's low E7, D7, G7, and B6. Like that. That's the first passing chord of the piece. Back to F7 again. Then I'm going to play A minor 7. If you're enjoying today's lesson, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell for notifications. A minor 7 is accomplished by barring my 3rd finger like this and wrapping my 2nd finger down like this. So you're going to wrap that finger like that, and then we have the 7 flat 9. So I have this triangle here. It's A5, D4, G5, but then I'm barring my 1st finger on the 4th fret. Again, just the middle 4 strings. So that looks like this so far. So 2 beats each. 1, 2, 3, 4. G minor 7 is next. Again, barring my 3rd finger, wrapping this guy around here. And then C7 is next. Almost just like the F7 chord did, but down here. And then I'm going to go like this. 1, and then down to D7. So that was here. And then the same chord on the 3rd fret, this G minor 7 chord, and the C7 chord. So that's 12-bar blues. It goes. You want to practice going back and forth between these to help to build muscle memory. If you're having trouble switching back and forth between chords smoothly, you might want to take a look at this video right here with the 5 steps towards smoother chord transitions. So we're going to utilize this flow to the floor concept when I build these chords. You'll notice I'm playing in the direction of the floor as I add my fingers. This comes first, then this. So practice doing that. It's a good idea in general. Pretty much most of your guitar playing is going to be flow to the floor. It's something that the pros do. They start with the lower string first and build towards the floor. So keep that in mind. Try to practice flowing in the direction of the floor as you add your fingers to the chords. To connect these chords seamlessly, try adding passing tones and chromatic approaches. Experiment with different rhythmic patterns to add flair to the progression. Let's go ahead and make this more interesting now. I'll start with F7 like before. This time I'm going to play B flat 13 and then this B diminished chord. Back to F7 again. C minor 7, and then I'm going to play this tritone substitution of F7. B flat 13, B diminished, F13, G minor 7, A minor 7, D7 flat 9, G minor 7, C7 over F sharp or F7, F sharp 7 sharp 11, which is a tritone substitution again, F13, D7 sharp 9 this time, G minor 7, C7 sharp 9 this time. Here's what it's going to sound like. If you're ready to dig in and start learning these 7th chords across the entire guitar neck, this lesson right here will get you started. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to throw some walking bass line stuff into it. Let's see what that sounds like. So what I'm doing there is I'm playing a bass line between the chords, chromatically walking up between the chords. So it's like chigoom, boom, chigoom, boom, chigoom, boom, doo, 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 doo. So if I do that slowly, here, walking up, walking up. Bird Blues is based on a standard 12-bar form, but it has some additional changes added to it. It's kind of a combination of a standard 12-bar blues plus rhythm changes. I'll explain. The most basic 12-bar blues form would be 4 measures of the 1 chord first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. B flat is the 4 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was for measures 5 and 6. Back to F7 for measures 7 and 8. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to C7, 2, 3, 4, back to B flat 7, 2, 3, 4, then to F7, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1 chord, 1 chord, to the 4 chord, and the 4 chord, to the 1 chord, to the 1 chord, and the 5 chord, and the 4 chord, back to the 1 chord, back to the 1 chord. So there's no turnaround at the end of the piece. Well, the Bird Blues is the 1 chord first. Then it goes to B flat 7 in the 2nd measure. That's called a fast change blues. It switches to the 4 chord in the 2nd measure, and back to 1 and 1 again. Then it goes to the 4 chord. So far so pretty normal, but then this chord is a passing chord. It's in between the 4 and the 5. It's a diminished concept. That's our first departure from a standard change right there. And then it gets really interesting, back to 1 again. But then we're going to do a 2-5 of the 2 chord. So what does that mean? Well, the 2 chord in the key of F would be G minor. What we're going to do is play this A minor 7 to D7 flat 9, which is a 2-5 to this being 1. So it's 2-5-1 progression. That's part of the rhythm changes concept. Jazz is full of 2-5-1s, 2-5-1s, 2-5, 2-5, indefinitely like that. So that's our first kind of departure. We have 1, 2, 4, 1, 1, 4, this cool passing chord, and then 1 again, and then a 2-5 of 2, and then a 5. But then it does something even cooler. It goes 1, 6, 2, 5. And what that is the rhythm changes. That's rhythm changes. I've got rhythm. Kind of 1, 6, 2, 5 is what rhythm changes is. So you can see this blues progression has these jazz elements added into it, and that's where the jazz blues concept comes from. Four chord, passing chord, 1 chord, 2, 5, 3, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5. I know I'm totally geeking out on this music theory stuff. Hopefully you're enjoying learning about how jazz and blues can blend together. If you're feeling kind of confused about this 2 chord, 5 chord kind of stuff, here's a lesson right here that will show you how the chords work in a major key. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed about how these blues chord changes work, here's the very first blues guitar lesson right here on this channel. Now let's take this to the second level of chord changes I was doing. Here's your 1 chord, 4 chord, passing chord, back to the 1 chord. Then I did a 2, 5 of 4. There's another 2-5-1 thrown in there. Then another passing chord. Then I did 1, 2, 3, 6, 2, 5 with tritone substitution, which is something else to be looked at. 1, 6, 2, 5. So 1 chord, 4 chord, this passing diminished chord, 1 chord, and this 2-5-1 of the 4 chord. And back to this passing chord, this time it is a fully diminished chord. 1, 2, 3, 6, 2, 5, like this, or I could do the tritone substitution version like that. 1, 6, 2, 5. If you want to take a deeper dive into the functionality of 7th chords, here's a video right here that will tell you all about guide tones. Let's go ahead and do that again. And then with the bass line. The Bird Blues consists of the standard 12-bar form, but with these other chords added to it to make a wonderful sound. Work on the individual chords first, and then try to piece it together. You can then try adding that bass line to connect them further, and then play it up to speed. Once you learn some more chord voicings, you can start to play this across the entire guitar neck. Now it's your turn to grab your guitar and practice along with me. Leave any comments or questions below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Happy picking, and I'll see you at the next lesson.